it's recording the class so that later I can put it on the YouTube channel, and then if somebody wants to practice along. Hey, Jasper, I'll get you a chair. I got a chair. Want to sit right
nice.
here?
See, this place is so full.
Yes, exactly. Here's a chair, Jasper. Jasper, here's a chair. Chair? Good, like that? Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, it's fantastic that we have a nice big class today, and everybody here is a regular, which I really like too. You know, the fact that you're all familiar with the practices. Yeah, so let's sit tall and begin to come into full awareness to the best of your capacity of your breath.
It's her birthday today.
I know.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, we've been.
Did you sing
Yeah,
happy
I'm
birthday
apologizing
already?
We
for
haven't.
being a little late, but there were a couple of women at my table who just wouldn't let me leave.
Fantastic. It's going to be popular. I'm sure it's good to be. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for making the effort, Jasper.
They're having a birthday party at 3 p.m. for all the November birthday people.
That's excellent. Yeah. And your birthday is today. It's the 29th. It's very special.
And she's 29.
I know. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay.
1936, you can figure that out.
Yeah. All right. So we'll begin the day in a great way, just to get a little exercise with our chair yoga. And so I invite you to sit as tall as you can. Let your head, your neck, and your trunk become as straight as possible. Let the breath flow freely in the nostrils. Each nostril, your left nostril and your right nostril, are the connections with the subtle energy rivers that flow through your mind body. The left nostril is associated with the moon, with the lunar energies, the cooling, the receptive input, the reflective qualities of your mind body. And your right nostril is connected to the solar, the sun, the more out-turned part of yourself, the extroverted part, the active part. And it's through the balancing of the lunar and the solar energies that we get the name Haṭha in yoga. Haṭha Yoga. Ha means the sun and Ta means the moon. So yoga literally is the yoking together of the lunar and the solar energies within the human experience, within the human body mind, within your human body mind. And when they are equally balanced, they are said to flow in one central river along your spine, which is why we work in our exercise class to keep the spine healthy and to let the breath do its work with the prana, the energy that's in the breath. So I'll make a brief invocation to the teaching spirit in the golden womb, the Hiranyagarbha, and to our teacher, Swami Rama, who taught us these exercises as part of the health system for the monks and the yogis, men and women who to this day meditate and live in the cave monasteries of the Himalayas. The intuitive wisdom. Sheshavyasa Dimadhyamam Swami Shri Rama Padam Vande Guru Parampara Shanti Shanti Shanti. So continuing to breathe naturally and normally through these two nostrils that you have in your nose, and merging that breath into one stream, feeling the presence of the breath in the abdomen and the navel regions, the movement of the breath in the body. Let us wait for an exhalation, and when that exhalation begins, let your chin nod in towards your chest, lengthen the back of your neck, let your arms dangle. Let your spine continue to round in like a big letter C, folding in. And as you inhale, unwind, lift your abdomen, lift your heart region, open your neck, lift your chin. Take your shoulders towards your ears and onto your back, just like you're draping your arms over a fence rail at the rodeo. And let your head nod in as you exhale, forming the letter C. Let your arms dangle, relax, all unnecessary effort. And as the inhalation fills your body, it fills you up like one of those big hot air balloons that they often have outside car manufacturing places or car dealerships. They've got like this sort of figure which blows in the wind and air blows through it, and the figure seems to be alive. And just like your body, it's no different than your body. As the air comes in, it lifts your body, it opens your spine. You take the opportunity to lengthen your spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, you round in, working into all the parts of your body, all those spaces between the vertebrae. And you're doing this with your breath cycle, with your own breath cycle. You may need to move a little faster or a little slower, but you are organizing your movements, coordinating your movements with your own breath. So that may mean that you have your eyes closed so that you're not thinking that you have to move like I'm moving, because I'm talking, so I'm not really breathing as I should. If I do that, I would be silent and I would just simply be moving, exhaling, folding in like big letter C, and as I inhale, lifting and opening, just being sure to get into all the parts of my spine, my head, and my neck. Now, wherever you are, come back to your central location, and that was movement 1 for the head and the neck of the Joints and Glands series. Now we do movement 2, which as you exhale, lower your right ear towards your right shoulder, and as you inhale, lift your head back up to its vertical position smoothly, and as you exhale, lower your left ear towards your left shoulder, and again as you inhale, your head comes up through front and center, and as you exhale, you continue lowering your ear towards your shoulder, and maybe you want to let your spine curve over a little bit too. Inhalation brings you up to center. As you exhale, you lower your head, and if you want to get a little bit of a movement into your spine, you can even arch your spine just a little bit over to the side, like you're one of those sea palms that grows on the rocks down by the beach in the surf. And as the surf comes in, they fold over one way as the surge comes, and then they straighten up as the water moves a different way, and then maybe the water's coming in and out. So in slow motion, you're letting your head and your neck fold to either side, and depending on what you want to work with today, you can try to get into your spine a little bit. If you are using the spine, you'll notice that as you angle over to the side, your opposite rib cage, the other side, is opening a little bit the space between the ribs, which is really great. And now stay within your capacity and don't overdo it. That's what would be the way that you get hurt. So you're just going back and forth. And wherever you are, come back to your central location. That we did exercise 2. Exercise 3 for the head and the neck. As you exhale, you'll rotate your head over towards your right shoulder. As you exhale, keep your chin level. So you're getting a little rotation and twist. And as you inhale, your head comes back to front and center. As you exhale, your chin goes now to the opposite side, over to the left. There's a rotation in the head and the neck. The chin is level. Your face is relaxed. Your inhalations are bringing you back to front and center. And as you exhale, you're turning your head, you're rotating your head to look over your shoulder. And this is primarily for your head and your neck. Now, the next time that you go over to the side, once you've taken your chin and your face and your gaze over towards your shoulder, you may want to see what it's like to get a little rotation into your spine as well. And you'll notice that your feet become more active when you do that. The inhalation still brings you back to front and center. As you go over to the side and you rotate, you can rotate your spine. And that's someone calling to wish you a happy birthday. And then you keep going to the other side. Okay, good. And then you come back to front and center. Yeah, that reminds me of when you're in India. They're very familiar with their phones. So you'll be in a class like that, and then instead of saying, "I can't talk to you right now," and they'll just have a conversation. Even though the teacher's right there, and you're like, we just don't do that in America. So, all right. It happens in like the temple or in church, somebody like in a temple, somebody will be involved in a ceremony and they'll get a phone call and they'll just like take it and go back. So, all right, great. We've done 3 exercises, right? So far for the head and neck. All right, exercise 4 is the turtling movement. And here, remember I talked about the 2 nostrils, the lunar and the solar? Well, now as you do the turtling movement, as you inhale, visualize that you're actually that as you bring the air in through your nostrils, it's like 2 strings, and you're bringing your head out forward by pulling in those strings of air, of energy. And then as you exhale, you retract the skull towards the wall behind you, tuck your chin. So as you inhale, your head and your neck come forward like a turtle out of the shell. And as you exhale, the skull goes back towards the wall behind you. The chin tucks in. And you continue in this fashion. And really it's great to feel the sense of the air coming in both nostrils. And as you exhale, that the air is traveling out. It's like unwinding a string. 2 strings, 2 strands. Continue in this fashion. As you exhale, your skull goes back towards the wall behind you. And as you inhale, your head and face and nose come out towards me in front. Okay, and then let's all meet back at front and center, and make sure there's no tension anywhere before we go into exercise 5, which combines all these movements. So sitting tall, without exceeding your capacity. I'll remind you that you can hold your tip of your tongue lightly against the roof of your mouth, inside your mouth. You're breathing through your nose, always. And the tip of the tongue can lightly be curled up and just held sort of lightly touching the roof of your mouth through all of our exercises. That's a special energy lock in Sanskrit called Ketari, or skywalking lock. So you're holding your tongue there, and you can also bring a slight contraction to your pelvic floor. So you've got a lock at the pelvic floor, a little bit of that Kegel, the muscles you use for kegling, and you just lightly hold those the whole time you're sitting here, energetically directing the energy up your spine, and then at the very same time, simultaneously, you keep the tip of your tongue in your mouth. And these are two things which no one could tell you would be doing. There's no visible signs that you're doing them. So I can't tell if you're doing them or not, but you can hold them there and hold them as you go into the next exercise, which as you exhale, you lower your chin towards your chest and roll your spine in like the letter C. And then as you inhale, sweep your chin up towards your right shoulder and begin to make a big circle with your head and your neck up towards the ceiling on the right. Crossing over the midline to the left. As you exhale, take your chin and your face down towards your left shoulder and round your spine in as your chin sweeps across your chest to the right. As you inhale, you can let your arms dangle if they feel comfortable that way. And you continue making these big sweeping circles with your head, your neck, and your entire spine rolling in. And as you inhale up the right-hand side of your circle, and you exhale down the left-hand side. Now, as you reach your midline, reverse the direction so that you begin to inhale and you move your chin and your face up towards your left shoulder, and you're inhaling up the left-hand side of the circle now. And as you cross the midline on the ceiling, you exhale down to the right. You're making these big circles with your head, your neck, and your entire spine. Inhaling up the left-hand side through both nostrils, of course, and exhaling down the right-hand side. And this time when you reach your midline and you're all hung over in a good way, your head's hanging down, your arms are drooping, just stay there for a moment and breathe in this completely submissive fashion. Your arms are hanging, your head's hanging, the back of your neck's relaxed. And now, if your arms are hanging beside you, dangling there, place your hands on your knees and use a full inhalation, a slow inhalation to come back up to your vertical position. When you reach there, immediately go into lion pose, opening your mouth, sticking out your tongue, look up through the tops of your eyes. Draw your ears back toward the back of your head and down your back, and then relax. And now, more energetically, we slide our palms to our knees, spread our fingers, spread the soles of your feet, really make your feet as wide as possible. Stretch out your tongue, your tongue and your toes, your fingers, everything. Draw your heart through. Go into